Moving to South Carolina, Part 2. What you need to know about waterfront property. Hi, I'm Sue LaFavi with Ballinger Realty, and this is my husband, Bob, and we live in Beaufort, South Carolina. When we first moved to the Low Country, we heard all these different terms for water views, so we thought we'd share them with you.
Okay, so when you look at property listings in this is an area that's filled with water, you're going to see probably 5 different descriptions of waterfront water views. So we need to run through those because you may think or assume you know what those terms mean, and they may not mean what you think they mean.
Right. Okay, number 1, marsh front property.
Okay, a marsh is essentially a flat savanna covered with grass that has water underneath it. And on these property listings, there'll be beautiful pictures looking out your back window and just seeing this beautiful marsh. It's beautiful, but keep in mind that at some point during the day, the water recedes a bit, and what you're going to have is, well, it's mud.
Okay, it's not just mud, it's called pluff mud. And there is an advantage to it because it brings in the most incredible egrets you've ever seen that come eat all the crustaceans that are tootling around in the mud.
It's mud. It's mud. But you know what? It can look kind of cool. I mean, there's nothing else out there. There are people that really love that, or if they don't love it, they love the other parts of the day when there's all this grass they're looking at it. But you should just at least be aware of that.
Okay, number 2, tidal creeks.
Yeah, tidal creek means this. Tidal means this. At some point during the day, and probably for large periods of time, the water on your property or adjoining your property is below 3 feet, which means it is probably recessed and you'll have a little mud, but it's below 3 feet, which is an issue if you plan to have a dock, or there's one already there, and a boat, which means that those times during the day you're not going to be able to get out, or if you're out, you're not going to be able to get back.
So you have to pay attention to the tides, which is not a big deal. People do it all the time because it is more affordable. So if you're out, low tide hits, you just gotta tootle around a little bit longer until the tide comes back.
Fish another hour or 2 hours.
Okay, number 3, deep water, limited access.
Yeah, so deep water is the opposite, obviously, of tidal creek. It means that it's never below 3 feet, the water adjoining your property. But the limited access of it is interesting, so you got to keep that in mind also.
That means that there's 1 or 2 hours before and after low tide when you cannot get out or in with your boat.
And it may not be your property.
Right.
Your property may be fine, but between you and the deeper water, or out to the Sound, or out to the Atlantic, there's a low spot. You can't quite get out. It's rare, it's not common, but it's something to keep in mind. But still, deep water is, you can have your boat out there all the time, and you should be able to get in and get out at least from your dock at any time.
Okay, so that was deep water, limited access. Now number 4 is deep water, 3 feet minimum.
This is what you want. This is prime property, right? Which means there's always 3 feet of water out there. You can go and come whenever you want, and every time you look out your window, you see nothing but water. That is just a beautiful sight. Around here there's so much water. We come across people all the time who they'll end up buying maybe Marshview or Tidal Creek, and then later on they decide they want to go to deep water because it is prime property. And it's a little more expensive, but when we look at this house, when we came to this house, we went out to the backyard, saw the deep water. We didn't even care what the house looked like.
We didn't. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. So just to share, this is our backyard. This is the sunrise we wake up to every morning. And oh, by the way, the nighttime moons aren't so bad either. Just look at this. How gorgeous. You can't beat it.
We go out in the morning and watch the dolphins. It's absolutely incredible. And the thing is, it's not that much more expensive than some of the other properties on water. So I just bring that up because to you, this may be, really important for you to have that view. When we look outside the window in the morning, I feel like I'm on a cruise, right? So I didn't expect I'd ever be able to afford something like that, right? So we're not rich, but we knew what we were looking for. When we came across the right piece of property, we went for it, and boy, we've never regretted it.
No, didn't look back. Okay, we got one more. Number 5, lakes and ponds.
So a lake, typically in a rural area, maybe outside Beaufort County in South Carolina or even in Georgia, is like going to be a recreational lake where you can bring your boat, you can get out on the boat, with everybody else and go out boating. But of course, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about lakes and ponds that are in a development. Okay? In that situation, you're not getting your boat out there, but you're always going to have water to see, and it's not tidal, so there's always going to be water there. And they can be very beautiful. Most of the time in these communities, you'll have an option to get a parcel of land that adjoins that lake. The only thing, and I don't want to overstate it or understate it, but there are alligators down here. I mean, it is a thing, and if you have a parcel of land that's adjoining that lake, and you don't have a fence, I mean, you kind of got to be careful with your dogs, your animals, and my goodness, even little kids. And it pains me to open up the paper every once in a while and see some dog got napped by an alligator, but they're out there.
Yeah, I know they are, but I will say in these developments, they make it very clear. They put big signs up, beware of alligators, so you know they're present. You take precautions, you put a fence up, and people live with it. It's fine.
It's unfortunate the alligators can't read, right? But look, go for the deep water, be careful of the lakes. Anywhere in Beaufort County, you're gonna love living here, and you're gonna be driving across and looking at water all day long.
Okay, I hope that was helpful on waterfront properties, and if you have any questions at all, please reach out to us anytime. Thanks for watching.